Sup gamers, today we're going to be watching the Once Human Beginner's Guide, but this one's for MEMETRICS and CRADLEs being explained. So I'm assuming it's like a tips and tricks, right? And stuff we need to know. The original is going to be down in the description. This is more like a review and my thoughts on it and opinion. So let's go ahead and get started and see if we can learn anything. Probably
So
not.
we get a lot of questions about how people should be spending their memetics currency, what perks they should be doing for their Cradle override, and also what specifications they should be getting as they are ranking up every 5 levels. So I kind of want to just do a video kind of going over all
Melee
that,
is super
giving you
nice
some
in
good
this game.
information on what is important, what is not. And know that you can actually give the video a thumbs up.
You can go to like harder places if you have the little jelly
member and follow me over
jelly
on
deviant
Twitter at
because it keeps your sanity up and stuff too. It's nice.
So let's first start off with the memetic side of everything. There is 4 different sections here: the infrastructure, crafting, logistics, and building. We're going to kind of go over all 4 of those. Now, do know, whenever you're playing the story, you should literally just follow what it is telling you to do in the top left corner. It is going to essentially help you get farther down this list and kind of give you a good idea
I guess it does,
where you should be spending your points
in the very
first
beginning.
to,
It does
easily progress throughout the game. So whenever you're first starting off, you're immediately going to get a disassembly bench. You're going to immediately get this furnace set up for yourself. Going over the crafting tab, you'll always get the supplies bench and the gear bench immediately done for yourself. So again, there's going to be things in there, but I want to go over kind of down the list and how important, what kind of like speed you should be going at things. So starting with the infrastructure side, going to a copper pickaxe is an almost immediate must in my opinion, just for the fact that in those starting areas, there's a chance to get silver.
I need to pause this real quick. So there's actually some items on this list. Like, here's my personal tip though. So you can actually look at the item, like when you see the formula over there, when you press on that formula, it'll show the items that's required, right? So if you can't get those items right now, I don't recommend unlocking that specific node, MEMETRICS, because it's like you're wasting your points, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting your skill, and you're wasting your time because you can't even use it. So you might as well either save it or go for something that you can use, something you can gather. So that's my personal tip for this thingamajig. All right, let's continue.
Axes can actually break that down for you, so it's going to give you that chance of getting silver ore, but also getting those Digby boys who are going to get that ore like material around your base for you, so that you aren't having to do that all the time by yourself. You do have this little section right here for the ore detector. It goes down to like a second one, and there's some like extra things here: a resource detector, and then another ore detector number 3. I don't think this is really all that useful right now.
I also believe it's not useful right now. But for those that are doing like the achievement grind and whatnot, like the journey, like for the season, you know that thing where it's like you gotta do this and that and then you claim. Basically, you do need the ore detector in order to do that, because that is one of the missions. But otherwise, if you don't really care for like the rewards, which I think isn't really worth it, to be honest, you would just ignore the ore detector for last.
At the same, like, obviously you can just kind of like look around and see where most things are at. So this is more something to do just going throughout your journey, getting some of those tabs done, but it's not immediately necessary. Bronze crafting and a bronze pickaxe will be something that you're going to just kind of like start working towards as you move through every area. Same thing is going to be for steel, for the steel pickaxe. And then you're eventually going to hit a thing where you're going to get this electric furnace. Obviously, this is going to be pretty useful for you, but don't.
It uses less material too.
Must your regular furnace.
You don't have to use charcoal anymore.
For you,
except for things that require charcoal to be made.
Get this unlocked, and then
but you don't have to use charcoal to make certain stuff like bronze ingots and whatnot.
Facility to create portable mixtures of fuel into barrel premium fuel. Not really necessary, in my opinion. This is going to be like a late game pickup for most people, just for the fact that if you just go to a random car that is on the side of the road, you're able to get the fuel for your motorcycle, for your own car, stuff like that. So
I will say
this is again more of a late end game thing.
It's not really a late end game thing. It's like a thing for like the 20 to 25 section, because that's when you start getting like about, I don't know, about 80 fuels. So it's like, I kind of want to change this up. Because me personally, I got like, what, 170? And I use my bike like all the time. So I got like 170. I'm like level 23 right now. So just saying, you might want to get this. But also, another reason why you would get this around then is because you actually end up starting to get the bigger fuel at like the 25 zones. So I don't know. Keep that in mind as like a second priority.
Now in the third tab, kind of moving to the fourth, we have like the chainsaw available for you.
I want
this
the
is
chainsaw.
definitely something that is super useful.
Except
whenever
there
you
is a
are,
problem with that.
Eventually able
but
to
I'm
get
wondering
it.
if it's
Again,
true.
This is more of a mid to late game pickup, I would say. Definitely, whenever you are, in need of wood and stuff like that, it's pretty easy just to grab
logging
your steel
chainsaw
pickaxe,
should be
go out there
fine.
and do it for yourself.
The other
But this
chainsaw,
will really
though,
help you out with saving
the
time.
other thing,
Do you know you can also get the little beaver boy who's just gonna run around and do a whole lot of that for you at your base? There's those available throughout the world, but at the same time, the logging chainsaw can be absolutely huge. Now, I don't have it immediately unlocked right here just because I had
the electric drill. That's the one. That one requires a storage battery.
In between,
You have to make that in a
and
different
the game
tab.
is unfortunately right
I
now
hate
a
that.
little bit time
So I don't
gated,
know
so
if
I'm
I'll
not
be able to
able
make it
immediately
eventually,
progress
but
these areas.
I'll get there
But
eventually.
I am able to hover over
Looks like I'm
these and kind
further
of,
than him, though.
go over everything here.
I'm
So
all the
obviously,
way at
aluminum is gonna
tungsten
start being an important
ingots.
thing. Aluminum pickaxe,
Even though I
don't
can't
think
make
is really
those.
all
I
that
didn't take my own
necessary for you.
advice.
Because by the time you get a chainsaw, that's going to be good for you, and then you're eventually going to have the electric drill available once you get into here. It requires aluminum ingots to do that.
Yeah, that's why
so
they put it
obviously
like
that's
right
gonna be
next
an
to each
important
other
thing,
like
but,
that. It's to
electric
let you
drill
know.
will pretty much be your backbone there. Same thing with the chainsaw. So you're not really having to do a whole lot of that. Now, there is this logging operation platform, and there's a mining one as well. Obviously, that's just going to, pick up different produced wood for you throughout the area, and then this one's also going
actually
to
didn't see those.
get you a lot of that ore that's sitting around. I don't think these are immediately necessary remotely. This is going to be a very, very late game pickup, just because, again, you're going to have deviants that are going to be able to do that for you, and you're going to be able to pretty much do the same exact thing extremely fast with the
I think it'd be
chainsaw
pretty
and
good
electric
once
drill.
you make a
Moving over
defense
to
base.
crafting,
That's when you can
obviously,
do
again,
that.
We talked about the essential
Put that inside.
supplies bench and the essential gear bench. Now, these two are going to be something that I would say as
That's
they
a
unlock
must.
and you get the better
Those are a
rarity
must.
versions, the intermediate versions of them, definitely try to unlock these as fast as possible, because these are going to be a pretty big option and pickup for you, creating better versions, better
Here's the thing. So if you have, let's say you have like a legendary sniper rifle, right? Like you got the legendary sniper rifle schematic, right? The thing is, you won't be able to craft it unless you unlock the long range whatever majiggy right there. Like, it won't even show up in your crafting. Same with like purples and legendaries as well. Purples and yellows for stuff. Those don't usually show up unless you have like a stronger crafting bench and all that. So if you're wondering where your stuff is, that's why. Wait, where'd the video go? Why'd I misclick? There we go. Is that right? Yeah, okay.
tiered versions of your weapons and armor, so definitely focus on that as you progress down. Obviously, we're eventually going to get into the advanced versions.
If you like
those
that
are going to be
background,
the
that's
real important ones.
that's from
I want to go
Honkai
down this
Impact 3rd.
ammunition line real quick and kind of talk about it. In my opinion, for most of the game, you can pretty much just live off of this first ammunition one, the copper variety of whatever the weapon you're using. Copper one's going to be able to do a whole lot for you. It's pretty great all around. Your weapons, especially once you get into the ones that are having abilities and everything, are going to pretty much carry you most of the way. Those abilities themselves
I will
are going to
say,
be most important.
Another thing about like the weapons and stuff, like he's talking about the abilities, right? So there's two types of weapons. Those that are like burst damage. Actually, they're all kind of burst damage, but like some do dots over time, depending on the ability you get. Some are single shots, some are multi-shots. The ones for multi-shots are good to use with abilities that like burn enemies and whatnot, stuff that does like status afflictions. because you don't want to be using so many bullets to just do damage. If you want to just do damage, raw damage, you would choose something like a sniper rifle or a shotgun or like a pistol. But stuff like an assault rifle, an LMG, and an SMG, those are actually personally better if you were to do like status affliction. That way you get the bang of your buck for your worth for the ammo. Otherwise, you're just going to be wasting a lot of ammo for the same thing you could have done on a different weapon. You'd be saving resources.
So really not having to worry about that. I would say the best time to, maybe eventually swap over to something is going into steel, because steel becomes much more prominent in those late game areas. So, and you're going to have a whole lot of it, and steel ingots are going to be pretty easy for you to make along the way. So I would say that's going to be kind of that benchmark spot to then maybe swap over. But again, you could pretty much live your entire gaming life off of just copper ammo.
It's
now I want
true.
to talk about these two little spots here in the first
Because
section.
there's actually one more thing about the ammo. Sorry, I keep pausing so often, but there's so much to talk about because I'm super invested into this game right now. But like, you can actually craft one of each type of weapon, right? Mind you, if you do this, you're going to be low on energy, and energy is your currency for almost everything in the game. But let's say you have like one of every weapon type. Every time you have ammo, you're going to come across ammo of different kinds, right? When you get low on ammo for one, you can actually swap out that weapon and the ammo for the one that has more, and just go back and forth between those. That's what they mean by you could just live on the copper ore and stuff. You can basically just find ammo. At least that's what I think he means. I don't know if he means like crafting like the higher tiers is worthless. But that's what I personally do from time to time. Unless I'm about to go into like a hard fight and grind multiple times repetitively. I think that's when it's better if you actually have like the super strong ammo and choose the proper weapon. All right.
To be huge for whenever you get knocked down in the open world and you're not playing with anybody else. They're going to be the thing that are going to help knock you, get you back up from getting knocked down. So these would be pretty nice, but at the same time, you get a lot of these from the free battle pass as well, and just from things in the open world. So not
Those
as
are
necessary to immediately go for.
Those are good.
But I would say definitely HP recovery is going to be a nice one,
especially early
you
game.
Obviously, have to do this to
late game
move down
people
the tree
actually
into
pick you up,
the
but
suspense
from level
section.
15 and below,
Let's
they
talk
don't
about
pick
the
you up
synth bench
all the time.
section.
Even if they
This is
see you,
obviously
they'll kind
going
of
to be
forget.
kind of going over three different things. It's going to be going over explosives. It's going to be going over different like contraptions that are going to help you throughout the world using Stardust.
Unless you're playing with
and then
like
also
someone
your
that
combat,
is actually a partner, then you for
drones
sure
and
don't
stuff
need it.
like that. In the drone
If you have an
section, we
actual team in
obviously a
VC,
scout
you
drone,
don't need that
does aerial
adrenaline shot.
attacks on enemies and just kind of flies around. It's pretty nice, but the better part is going to be this portable machine gun tower.
Oh,
This
I wish
thing
he
is
told me
so
more
nice,
about the
especially
drone.
against bosses like the spider boss.
I think it's a
Especially going
timer.
solo, you
Timer.
just
They're all
drop this down, it's
timers.
gonna absolutely just melt them.
You craft them.
So this is going to be a
one-time
pretty big
use.
find, I would say, once you're able to unlock it. Do you know though, it does require a lot of different things in between here. It requires a lot of steel ingots, electric parts, stuff like that. So these are quite the investment, but I would say they're definitely something you should mainly focus on for.
I would use the
end-game
portable
activities.
machine gun tower.
Looking down the explosive section, obviously the first.
I would
one's
use that one for the current event season stuff that's out right now called the. I don't remember exactly what it was called. I think it was like Prime Wars or something. Prime Wars Easy Mode or something, where you fight like this big dude that has like a chrome shield. I think that's actually one of the tools that would work against him. So that's the only reason why I would use it. I wouldn't use it if I'm going to do a repetitive grind on an enemy or anything. I'd only use it for like an event boss or something. But I don't know. That's just me. Unless you can somehow get the materials back each time, then I wouldn't.
Pretty nice, just explosive throwables. You're able to find most of these in the open world. Clay mines, vortex grenades. Vortex grenades were actually
You
pretty
do get
cool,
the
but again,
claymores
another thing that I
and
just kinda
stuff
enjoy just finding in the world as
just
is.
from
And then you
finding it around
eventually
the world.
go down to this advanced synthesis bench. Now, what's great about this is it's able to produce
Do try to
these
keep at
cortex
least
level
one of
3s
each
for whenever
item
you
though,
are doing
because you're gonna need it to
the
unlock some stuff.
refining at your own base.
There's chests
to
that you
get
can't
those
open
start
unless
from.
you
Obviously, really
Molotov
nice.
the thorns
So
and
definitely
etc.
more of a late game pickup. And then going down this section, the shield wall is very nice. Stops assaults in their tracks with a sweet power of Stardust. Pretty nice, but it's never really anything that you really need. I would
Just
say
use
the
the gel
Stardust section down here
deviant.
just really isn't that great. Projection generators, scanners, and spectrum generators. Obviously really cool concept, but your deviants and just like your abilities across the board.
You know what I just totally realized just now while talking about the adrenaline shot stuff? If you're surrounded by other players, there's no need to use your healing item. You can just straight up go down and someone's gonna pick you up. You'd be saving materials. But it doesn't encourage you taking damage though. Still try to avoid taking damage at least, because you're gonna lose durability on your armor. But I mean, if you're getting hit and you're like, I need a heal, but there's people around you, don't use it. Just let them pick you up. It'll be worth it. Trust.
As is, will carry most of that for you.
Unless they're a
now,
troll.
in regards to logistics, this is going to be
would
everything
suck.
from getting your food with your kitchen, getting your planting set up, getting rainwater, and getting solar generation. Let's first start off with that power generation. That's going to be once you get into this.
Personally,
third tab,
once human.
and it is quite the investment.
Hey, once human devs, if you're hearing this, which I highly doubt, someone might have to share this instead to them. You should give an incentive whenever someone resurrects another person or helps them that's downed. Like, nothing too big. Maybe like, oh no, because if they did that, someone would just keep constantly going down and trying to take it, huh? Maybe a limit. Maybe if you do a limit of like 10 energy per pickup. And you only can pick them up, like, I mean, you can unlimited pickups, but like you only get the reward so many times. So let's say 5 pickups, and you get 10 energy per pickup. And once they try to pick up a 6th time, there's no more energy that they get for as an incentive to pick people up. I personally think that would work out and be pretty good. So it'll encourage people to pick people up more often. Because, you know, people lose count anyway, so they'll be like, did I pick up enough today anyways?
It does require a lot of like steel ingots, a lot of parts that you're going to find in the open world. But do know once you get one of these, it is absolutely amazing. It's going to really carry you. And do know solar generators actually work inside. You don't have to leave them out in the sun. They work. They just work as is. So
do they
definitely
actually?
take
I
advantage of
left
those.
mine
You eventually
outside.
get into like the electrical kits and being able to get different just like automatic parts for your
I
base.
left mine
which
on
is
my
really
Porsche.
cool. You eventually get to this biomass generator, which just requires you chucking in like food and stuff like that to create power, but your solar generator should kind of carry most of that for you. Eventually a hydraulic generator, definitely not necessary whatsoever. I don't think this is remotely necessary for you. Most of those other things I was talking about before should be fine for you.
I actually got it though.
Eventually a power upgrade.
I got
which
the
is
hydraulic.
actually
I don't
pretty
use
nice
it,
because
though.
it gives an extra generator plus.
Because it's not part of my
So
base.
eventually
So I don't
it'll
know
be
if
a pretty
I'm
nice thing to
going to
have,
use
but
it.
the advanced generators is going to be probably the best part because you eventually get the second advanced solar generator, which can produce a whole lot of energy for you with just one unit. In regards to water consumption, everything like that, obviously the regular rainwater collecting system and the water storage.
I don't
are
use
important,
those.
especially water storage. Water filter is really nice for, you know, just taking this water and putting it in there, make it purified, but you can also just take it to your stove and do the same thing, get everything that you need there. But the biggest thing I would say is these water pumps. Now, these are really nice for the fact that you can just put it in the ground, connect some electricity to it, and it's going to start just producing a whole lot of water for you. Definitely take advantage of these pumps, and do know that they
Water's
do
not even
require
that hard to
energy,
come by, so I
would
think that's
definitely
dumb.
dedicate an entire solar panel to just your water system. And getting that set up for you. Eventually, you get this automatic irrigation system, which is really nice for your plants if you are doing a whole lot of that stuff inside. And then finally, the reverse
Or just get the
osmosis
bee.
machine.
Get
which
the
is gonna
bee.
create a
That
lot of
works
purified
too.
water. Again, more of a late end game
For your
pickup.
plants.
Now, going down the stove section, stoves pretty important. Getting the regular dishes, obviously,
I maxed
air
this one
drying.
out.
Really important. And then the second set of dishes. I really like this for getting stuff like orange
A
soda.
tip he
orange
probably is not going to talk about. I'm still in the process of doing it, but I believe this works. So when you make food and stuff, right? When you make it, right? And then you take it from the stove. It has durability and timer. Isn't that right? And you can only make up to 5 in a queue, if I recall. What you can actually do is either the day before or like at night when you're calling it in, you can actually queue your food a certain amount of them, like because you can't take them out like partially at a time. You have to take them all out at once for each bulk of item stack. So what I would do is, let's say for a mushroom skewer, let's say I have 10 of them. Instead of cooking all 10 at once, I'll actually put 2 different queues, 5 each. That way I will have 1 stack for the next time. I mean, it's going to take a queue slot, but I'm pretty sure the item itself will not expire, like ever, until I take it out, and then the timer starts going down. So let me know if that works. I'm pretty sure it does, because I'm in the process of doing it right now. It's a tip that's in the process of being made. I don't know if they'll patch it later, but right now, that's my goal, and I'm pretty sure it's working. So let me know. Hopefully that works out for you guys. I feel like that's a big tip.
Are pretty easy to find around the area, and you just create a little bit of glass, and you get that great hydration from them. But obviously, getting down to the electric stove is really great because it eventually gives you that chance to create sanity gummies. If that is something that you are really needing in the open world, you don't have like a festering gel as your deviant.
Yeah, the festering gel.
Take care of that for you. It can be huge. I love
it's
also
very
using
huge.
the refrigerator.
Your sanity is very
nice
huge. It plays such a big part.
Food is going to last longer and not spoil as fast, so I'm able to have a bit more of those, just like easy to find bulky items in there. Now you start getting down into like extra dishes down here, obviously going to be important for those late game like recipes, so the integrated kitchen is going to be really important. But something I really enjoy as well is the brewing barrels. Brewing and just beer and corn ale and all that stuff in general is great.
Give me the alcohol.
And also your
I want to pour it straight
well,
into my open eye.
It can be a pretty nice thing, but do you know, like in real life, drinking too much can be an issue. And then finally, in regards to like crops and everything, obviously getting the planting, getting the compost bin is huge for just chucking spoiled food or just like
it decays over time, by the way. You have to make it again.
In there, it's going to create that fertilizer for you. Getting the planter box is huge. Now that's going to be like your main core right there, those 3. And then you start getting.
You have to keep in your inventory for it to work. It's automatic though.
Grow lights are really great for the fact that you can just kind of stick these in an inside area, and your plants are all going to grow just fine if you just like kind of want an enclosed home. And then
I should probably get that.
Better versions of the fertilizer. Last quick thing in logistics, you do have a vending machine that you can put out for people to like trade items.
The vending machine not worth.
You're able to spend your star crumb. That one's obviously really huge. And then you also have the security.
They have to go to your vending machine in order to use it.
Is going to give you.
How many people are going to come across your place, huh?
Units, so you have more deviants.
It's not worth.
Obviously, once you move into this, the second version, you're going to get 20 available for you. And finally,
and the wishing one, not worth. Just go to a town.
Into, your basic, just like
they're in the towns.
How you build your house, your garage, and then also defenses. Let's first start off with the garage. Media one is easy pickup. Just use it. Great for repairing your bike and getting a lot of that stuff going to it. And then obviously
that's actually a must. You need a garage. That's a must.
Metal and bronze.
I'm pretty sure the story thing makes you do it anyway. So
able to pick up a 4-wheeler, but I'm more of a motorcycle guy in this game just because it's easier to like traverse through like the actual open grass and everything.
Another thing about the 4-wheeler, there's 2 that you get. One of them is a 4-seater, which looks really nice. It's like a Jeep. I think it's slower, though, than the one that's a 2-seater. But the 2-seater one looks like trash. Like, absolute garbage. Like, I need a skin to cover that thing. I need a new paint job. That's what it looks like. But the Jeep looks great. So, I would get the 2-seat if you're playing with someone else. But also, they could just ride their own bike, right? If you're good... I feel like the 2-seat might be the worst, to be honest. Because if you're playing with your friend, you could coordinate where you're going anyways to begin with, so you don't really need to be in the car together. If you play with other people, it'd be more than one other person, so you'd get the Jeep anyways because the party goes up to 4. So it's like, why? Why would you even get the car? Personally, I think it's dumb.
Modification 2 gives you a lot more of those steel parts for your bike. Then you finally move down into like the bigger truck, which is going to be able to actually, truck a lot of different like things into like your actual car, so that you're able to, kind of not
You can
have
build
to
a
worry
base
about
on the
having as
truck.
much in your backpack along the way. Modifications for that. That's going to eventually going into aluminum, and then you have a larger garage so that you can obviously
Actually, that's the time. That's actually the time when you would actually have the vending machine. If you're using the truck and you go drive around trying to sell your wares, that's the only time I would get the vending machine.
build up your car into a even larger truck, and those better parts along the way. Next up, we're going to look at the actual just like supports and everything involved with that. That's broken up into a couple different areas. You obviously have basic storage. This one's going to be pretty much the only one that you really need to do, just because it has this large crate available for you. You do have this gear storage, so you can,
I get those.
identify between armor and weapons. Not really necessary in my mind. Most of the stuff you can keep in your backpack, and then display facilities as well, so you can like put things up on board.
That's false. If you're gonna do the thing where you get multiple weapons and you're a weapons specialist, you're gonna need the weapon and armor crate, because otherwise you're gonna actually run out of space pretty often. The thing that happens at level 20, I'm only running like 2 weapons, right? No, 3 weapons. Primary, secondary, and the melee weapon. I'm pretty sure the slot determination priority doesn't matter for damage. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the weapon crates and stuff are necessary, since like going out for about 30 minutes, probably less, actually puts your weight around 70% already. And that's without carrying these extra weapon stuff. So imagine carrying the extra weapons. After 30 minutes, you're going to have to go back home. And then you're going to have to teleport again somewhere nearby to the place you were visiting, which uses energy in order to go back and forth. So personally, those weapon crates and armor crates is a must, on top of the large crates.
You have your roofing and everything involved with, the stairs and the inside, the interior, going all the way down to like wooden stuff. You eventually go into the different like stone variants of everything, and then eventually the enhanced supports and everything involved with that. So, in this section, you do have your territory expansion available to you, so that you're able to, expand your territory, make a builder house. And then also the designer's workbench, obtained from abilities to assemble blueprints and synthesize blueprints. Not really that necessary in my mind.
Why is there no green
section, you have your basic defenses that you start off with.
Why are they called blueprints?
Sandbags, and a bunch of different, fortifications like that as well. Then you eventually get into traps that you can do, and then a test dummy.
I got those.
Just like shooting things and testing numbers. There you go.
I don't have the material to make them though.
Area. All these are really nice. I really do actually like the gravitational traps whenever I am doing star chrome refining. So
I have the star chrome refining.
Auto turrets, obviously important. This is a pretty easy one to understand. You got your regular rifle one, and then your shotgun one for close range. You can pretty much live off of these level 2 versions pretty long, but you'll eventually obviously level those up as you go. Also, an updraft device obviously sounds exactly like it is. It's just gonna give you the ability to like bounce up to
I don't think you need
platform. This is not too bad if you're looking to get the high ground while doing Starchrome defense. And then obviously as we go down, we have different defenses like this. We have a biomass missile, a Gatling cannon, so it can do bigger damage, and then better versions of everything that we just kind of like talked about before, the defense traps and the gunners as well. Now,
whatever you do,
Cradle, we have this
do not put your Starchrome converter into your house. Speaking from experience, that destroyed my home, because the enemies try to go straight into it. Like they'll throw meteors and stuff at it to try to like open up the place. So if you're gonna put it somewhere, make like a new foundation and then put like defense stuff around it. Don't put it next to your important structures. You're gonna lose so much time and effort. Ugh, just thinking about it hurts.
of 8 different nodes that we can select, and obviously there's some that we aren't able to do right now. All these are based off of either doing the main world bosses or the silos. So obviously for the one that I am showing right now, I've done 1, 2, 3 of the main bosses, and I've done 2 of the silos here, so that I have 5 different of these available to you. As you're kind of
I only
going
got
down
3
this
available
list
right
of
now.
all
Funny
these
enough,
different
I
perks
haven't
and
been doing
everything,
that.
it gives you kind of that ability to build craft in one certain way. So what I currently have on right now is good for a melee build. I am using the deviation handling so that I'm able to boost my deviant power. I'm using movement speed so that I am not using as much stamina, so I can use that more for my melee swings. Melee amplifier for more damage for my melee hits. Brawling boost so that I'm
kind of
getting
waiting
more
for my
damage
partner to do these,
reduction
but she's
against
constantly
humans,
busy,
and then
so.
also dexterity so that I just have damage reduction. Again, all things that are going to kind of help my specific build, and you can obviously change this around as you are playing the game different ways. If you're doing
Also,
status builds,
devs,
you're gonna have,
please fix
stuff
the
like this, like flame
that
renaissance,
deviant that on that
after hitting
backpack.
a weak spot,
His head
status
is going
damage is
through the
increased,
backpack.
stuff like that, where it's really
Make
great
him smaller.
for, you know, again, that build crafting of the
He's
game.
too big.
Now we are going to go back one more time to the memetic screen, and we're
He
actually going to
doesn't
go
fit
into the top
inside.
left corner and click on this memetic specialization. Now, what is this? These are going to essentially be kind of those like passive perks you're going to have a game that's going to be specific for you and your playstyle, especially whenever you're playing in a hive or warband.
Not too true. Some of these things are actually better than other stuff
some people
by
are
a
gonna be,
lot.
like in charge of smelting. Some people are going to be in charge of defense. Some people are in charge of harvesting other materials out in the world. And these perks are going to give you those benefits. So obviously I've gotten 5 of them here so far. I have stuff like deluxe storage, which is going to give me 64 items in my storage crate versus the typical 32. So obviously
I guess
make
that
these
makes
for
sense.
myself or
Deluxe.
also my teammates for their bases,
Yeah.
so that everyone has more storage. Other things
Because
like
if you're a
Master
hive
Craftsman,
together,
it's going
I
to
guess that
give
makes
my
sense.
supply workbench a plus 50% output for all
50.
of my regular ammunition. Obviously you have your basic ammunition, and then you also have the AP, which is going to be the ones that are going to have a little bit extra damage because of the like stardust that you're putting in them, but again, not very necessary whatsoever. Something like this is great for creating a workbench for myself, so I'm always getting more ammo out of it, and also creating for my teammates out in the open world. Now, do know with these, you actually can reset them after you select them. So obviously, like right now, I can't.
It
Like,
does
go in
cost
and pick
something though.
else. I would have to reset it, so I'm going to do that reset here right now, and then I'm going to have different options here instead this time. So I have something like portable fridge, my backpack. That's what I just had. Obviously it shows that, and it's going to give me 3 other options. So I have solar gel, charges itself on sunny days, enjoy plus 40% yield on copper, tin, iron, aluminum, and tungsten
That's
ore.
dumb.
Obviously that's really huge for me. Can use sulfur and energy link at the synthesis bench to slowly produce
That's even
acid.
worse.
Actually really great to have constantly, just because acid in late game becomes very difficult to find. Power generator, increased biomass power.
If it's
output by
hard to
5.
find, just go
Not
to our
really
user
necessary, 'cause I'm
area.
already
Am I right?
focused into
Ba-dum-bum.
other things for my solar generator, and then I have this one for brick and glass crafting time, minus 50% plus 100% yield. Not really necessary. So obviously I'm kind of between the solar drill and the sulfur chemist on this option. So do know as well, at this bottom left hand corner, you do actually have a specialization
on
that
it.
you can click here. This is as you are doing certain things. So if I had like 2 smelter items in here, it's going to give me the chance to have a little icon here that is going to show that I am a smelting master. This is more just for people in the open world to see what you're kind of focused into, and if you were going to
So
be
it's like your title.
So if I'm in a warband with somebody and they're like, oh my gosh, I need smelting ingots and stuff like that, they can look at my profile and see, oh, this guy's a smelter. I can go to him and he can get me the stuff I need. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this really helped kind
that
of
was
explain
actually neat.
everything for you, and kind of like give you an idea of how you should be focusing into this. If there's other things that you're interested in hearing about for Once Human, make sure you're
Why is this floor so dirty? The floor in his home is so dirty. What happened? But yeah, this was actually pretty informative, I'd say. There was a lot of stuff I didn't agree on. A couple of stuff I did agree on. But overall, it's a very good one. And I recommend listening to those tips from him and me. And I hope that makes the game more enjoyable for you guys. And if you guys want to see me in the game, I'm on, what's it called? North America 24. But, yeah. Feel free to say hi. And maybe they'll do like a cross-server thing at some point. But, hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.